Hello, my quilty friends. It's Stacy of Stacy Creates Stuff. Today, I am bringing you some of my favorite quilting tools. Now, none of these tools are essential to quilting. You can be quilting for a long time without having to use these. But I will say that all of these are really nice to haves, and some of them really aren't that expensive. Let's get started. If you sew a lot of half square triangles in the method where it's two squares together and you sew 1/4 of an inch on each side of the center diagonal, I have a video. Check it out. But marking that center line on the square and then that 1/4 inch away, this tool I love. It's the quick quarter ruler, and it has essentially dashed lines in between. There's areas in between that you can see if it'll focus. There we go. Where you can mark a dashed line, that will be the ultimate cutting line, and then marking on each side of the ruler, the top and the bottom part of it, or left and right while it's on your fabric, that will allow you to mark your sewing lines. While you are trying to mark your fabric, it helps to have a board that has a rough surface. So this has a sandpaper surface. It's a cute little board, and it makes it really easier. You just go one by one, and it keeps the fabric from sliding across your mat or your table. Again, not essential, but super helpful. Now, once you have those half square triangles sewn and then cut apart, you probably need to trim them down. So my go-to ruler from that is this ruler that I have had forever. It is from That Patchwork Place. It is the 8" by a square ruler. I don't think they make these anymore, but there are substitutes that you can use. For instance, this Quilt in a Day ruler is fabulous. It also has markings on it. The key thing is that there is a center diagonal line, and then there are lines that show where the square would be, because of course a half square triangle is square. So those three things go really great together, especially if you're doing half square triangles. Now, I like to chain piece, so I sew all my little pieces together. I don't sew a piece and take it off the machine. I go until I have a whole string of pieces sewn together, and then to cut those apart, I have two different things that I use, and it just depends on whether I have a few to cut or a very long string of things. So first are my little Fiskars Snips. What is distinctive about these versus a pair of scissors is, of course, a pair of scissors, you need to put your fingers in, open it, and then close it. These are already open. You just have to snip to close, and they snip right to the point, so they are great. The thing with using regular scissors, especially your good fabric scissors to cut thread, is that surprisingly it will wear down in just that tiny little spot, as opposed to when you have regular scissors, your good fabric scissors, cutting fabric, then the fabric is all along that blade. When you're cutting thread, it's just in that one spot, and it can wear things down. So snips are fantastic. So I mentioned that I also needed a tool for when I'm doing a whole bunch and I can just kind of drag them apart. And there is an old rotary blade here in the center of this piece. So good use for old rotary blades. And this very cool little thing, you can kind of turn it if one of the areas starts to get pretty dull. It's very easy to change the blade out of it. It comes with a little tool that is stored in the bottom of the base, and you simply snap your chain piecing, little sections of chain right across that, and you can very easily cut them apart in moments. While I was filming my little blade saver, I remembered two of my other favorite tools, which is a wool pressing mat and a small craft iron. I just like to have it right here next to my sewing machine. My sewing machine is to the right of me. I have a little L-shaped table here, and it's easy to just swing around and press those pieces in between piecing them together. Now, my last tool that I have to share with you is one that I recently purchased and can't believe it took me this long to go ahead and purchase it. And it is a ruler gripper. Now, it seems like, do you really need one of those? If you have a ruler that has the non-slip thing on the back, that is perfect. I have had these rulers for a couple of decades now, and they don't have the non-stick things, although I have added some stuff to the base of them, but still there's a little sliding around. And regardless of whether you have a ruler that has a grip on the back or not, when you are pressing down on the ruler, you are only pressing in that particular spot. When you press down with this, then it is spreading the pressure on the ruler over a larger distance. And so you're less likely to slide. I love it. And it works. It's just release it here. It's just a suction cup. There are two suction cups. Looks like a telephone. There are two suction cups there on the bottom, and you just adhere them. Just put pressure down, and then you just snap it into place with the little mechanism. And there you have it. So, my friends, what are your favorite quilting tool set? Now that you use them, you just couldn't live without. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, why not check out this?